From The Number of the Beast, it's Iron Maiden with 22 Acacia Avenue, and there's a kind of a specific reason why I played that, Chris.
Okay, why is that?
Well, there's a series out there. It's by no means a new series, but it's been around a while, but just because it's on Netflix and it's very easy to access, there's a series out there that was very well done. It's called Classic Albums.
Okay.
Have you ever watched that?
VH1?
No. It's just on. I don't know who produced it. It's done by Eagle Rock Entertainment. Most of them are anyway.
Can't say that I have.
It's called Classic Albums.
No, I'll have to look that up.
And they cover, the one I watched last night was Iron Maiden, the Number of the Beast. I watched Motorhead. One from Motorhead the other night, and then Deep Purple and Fleetwood Mac Rumors, and
I sort of remember the series. It was on VH1.
It might have been. I've actually seen it on VH1 or MTV or VH1 Classic or one of those. Mm-hmm. And it's about 10 or 12 years old.
Sure,
but they're all on Netflix.
Oh, I'm gonna have to watch those then because I like that series.
Yeah. So I've been watching that all week, and I watched Def Leppard Hysteria.
I watched that one,
and it's just really just well put together, and the fact that they have the producer of those albums, and of course the band members, and they break those albums down, and they have just the dry tracks of just the vocal or just the guitar or what the rhythm section was doing, and they break it out into individual drum tracks or whatever it is, and they show what the guy was doing, with his part in the song and how it all came together, and how important the mix was, and how certain songs or albums came to be, and
sure,
it's just very interesting.
Well, that's cool.
Well, yeah. I'd seen this before, but I watched it last night with. Just because I could just concentrate on it and listen to what was going on. And they covered The Number of the Beast, which obviously is the first album that Bruce Dickinson joined Maiden.
Sure. And
how that all came to be, and, what the backstory was, and how, Paul Di'Anno was basically given the boot. Mm-hmm. So Dickinson can come in, and how they, how it changed the whole dynamic of the band, and, how The Number of the Beast became to be, and how the songs came to be, and how much flack that they received because of the quote-unquote satanic symbolism. Yeah. And everybody thought that they were satanic because of the devil and, the 666 and, all that stuff.
Sure.
And they said, that was not the premise of the album at all.
Right.
They weren't looking to go out there and make a splash or be controversial or, be mistaken for devil worshipers or anything else. They were more or less just telling the story of the, biblical story of the world or the apocalypse as it's written in the Bible, Mm-hmm. And it wasn't because we're devil worshipers, But at the time when that album came out, there was this big fever pitch, in the country, here, at least here in the U.S., where everybody thought that anything that was related to quote-unquote heavy metal was of the devil.
Right, sure.
So it was very interesting, but, that gave me the inspiration to break out The Number of the Beast and listen to it from, front to back or from beginning to end and listen to it. And it's just like, man, I'm telling you what, they just don't make great records like that anymore.
Not really. I mean, most of the time it just, it's like two good tracks and then a lot of average to below average garbage.
Sure. So, these guys took the time to really craft a good record, and they put some thought into it, and, took their time to do it right, and, so on and so forth. And that's why it became a classic album. And, and I can understand people look back now in hindsight and go, man, that was just an awesome record. And, when they first recorded it, they walk out of the studio with a finished product, but they don't go, man, this is going to be a classic record. They just go, wow, we did the best we could with what we had.
Yeah.
And it becomes a classic record over time. Hail and Kill, caller, you're on the air.
Speaking of Iron Maiden, were you going to talk about Paul Di'Anno and his little tirade this week?
Didn't hear it.
He had a tirade recently?
Yes.
No, I didn't hear anything about it. What happened?
Shall I regale you?
Yes, I wish you would.
Well, basically, he was playing one of his solo shows that hasn't got canceled. You know,
Okay.
being the biggest train wreck this side of Michael Schenker.
Okay.
Well, he's in Greece and he's playing a show, and somebody hollers out, "Bruce Dickinson!"
Really?
near the beginning of the set. And
At a Paul Di'Anno solo show.
yes.
Okay.
Well, basically, Paul went off on him and called him a cocksucking faggot and cussed him left up one side and down the other.
Is that audio available?
No.
It's on Blabbermouth. It's somewhere.
I'll find
it. It was like I would say Tuesday, I think.
Okay.
But I'll just go on to say that he called out Bruce by name and said, "I'm not an opera. I don't sing opera, and I'm not a ballerina. And if you want to hear Brucey Baby, go fuck off home."
Nice.
Yeah.
I hope that audio is available. I would like to have that.
Yeah, they had a video of it on the Blabbermouth
I see it right here. Hold, please.
Okay.
Here we. Oh wait a minute! It's an hour. How long? Where's the audio at? Because the video is an hour and 18 minutes. Let me figure
fuck
out.
that noise.
Yeah, we're not going to go that long. After someone in the crowd named current frontman less than 15 minutes into Paul's set, Paul responded, blah 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 blah. So 15 minutes in, but the whole set is here. Well, let's find. Oh, here we go. Let's find out.
You think that's funny, doesn't it? You cock-sucking motherfucker. There's always one gay guy, always one faggot. Man, I'm not even going to come off the stage and beat the piss out of you. I'll get my security boys to take you out. Yeah, so shut your fucking mouth. Always one douchebag. So, Bruce Dickinson. Listen, I do not sing opera, and I'm not a ballerina. I just play fucking straight ahead, fucking mellow. If you want to go listen to Brucey Baby, fuck off home.
Well, okay then.
Just that tone of disgust. If you want to listen to Brucey Baby.
There's always one faggot in the group.
Paul is a Muslim now. That's not exactly something you expect to hear from a practitioner of the religion of peace.
Really? Well, it would be surprising that he continues playing quote unquote metal music as a Muslim.
Well, he's already been to prison over this. His continuing to perform.
That's it.
You know this, right?
Because of what, his tax evasion things? Didn't he have tax evasion?
Tax evasion. Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
seriously, and then he books an American tour where he's basically playing with pickup shows with whatever Maiden tribute band is in whatever city he's in.
It's not a Maiden tribute band. It's our friends in Icarus Witch that are almost always his backing band.
For one show.
No. They tour with him.
Oh, they toured with him. Okay.
It's like 45 dates with them the last time.
Okay. What, the last time it didn't get canceled?
Last time it didn't get canceled.
Right.
They were the backing band.
Well, good on them, I guess.
I guess.
So
I still say, and I'm quoting from one of your old sound clips, Chris, he's still a fucking dick.
Speaking of still fucking dick, I think I'm just going to bounce this we and them in the chat room just because it's annoying me. Ban user.
I didn't even see what were they doing.
Nothing nasty. I just was annoyed, so fuck them. Gone.
Well, what were they saying?
Nothing bad. Just annoying me.
Okay.
Just being too dumb for the room. So
Okay.
I throw them out.
All right.
You went all Paul Di'Anno on him.
Yeah.
There's always one faggot in the group.
All right, there's always one faggot in the group.
Words to live by.
Right. Well, I was not aware of that Doghouse, but now that I am, I'm going to definitely save that clip.
Courtesy of your research department.
There you go. Thank you.
Hail and kill.
Hail and kill.
Fuck you, pal.
All right. Well, anyway, I just wanted to bring that to your attention. If nobody's ever watched that classic albums,
okay,
go check it out because they got a lot of good ones on there. They got like Deep Purple, Perfect Strangers, Machine Head.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they've got a lot of them, and they even got some of the bands that I'm not, all that thrilled about. They got the Nirvana and System of a Down, and bands like that where they cover their albums too.
Right. Well, I won't be watching System of a Down, but I'll watch the Nirvana.
Sure.
Which Nirvana is it? Is it In Utero?
I think it's Nevermind.
Oh, see, Nevermind, not so good. Because In Utero, they actually recorded a whole album. The record company turned it down. That's the one I would like to hear about.
But there's a lot of them on there, so I've been watching that all week.
Well, that's cool.
They run on the average about an hour.
Yeah, I'll check that out. Sounds good.
It's called Classic Albums. So if you have Netflix, go check that out. And there's a lot of great